2026 Evergreen State Kit is here, celebrating soccer throughout Washington State. Featuring a bright green base with dark and light blue accents on the shoulders and sleeve cuffs, the kit will be paired with light blue shorts and socks. Inspired by the club's Forever Green and For Evergreen motto, the Evergreen State Kit embodies the spirit, texture, and landscapes of the Pacific Northwest. Continuing the club's long and proud tradition of Northwest inspiration, the Evergreen State Kit includes 52 sparks for the 52 mini pitches built in communities across Washington by the Ray Foundation. The lower corner is emblazoned with the Evergreen State in reference to Washington's historical nickname. Order yours today at lobbingscorchers.com/kit. That's lobbingscorchers.com/KIT. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your post-game live for Matchday 3 in MLS. The Seattle Sounders just took a 1-0 victory at St. Louis City SC. KKR with the game winner, Andrew Thomas with a huge save at the end, and the Seattle Sounders smash and grab all 3 points at Energizer Park. Noah, what's up, man? Get to talk about a win tonight. How you feeling?
Absolute jingle bells, Ari. Absolute jingle bells. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty at times. The first half of soccer was unwatchable. But you know what? Sometimes you got to go in. Sometimes you got to lose one of your most important center backs. And sometimes you got to let the young Kalani, Kossa-Rienzi, UW legend, score a banger. He's been known to do that. He has been known to do that, and he did that tonight. And yeah, we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be talking about the Dub. So everybody strap in. We are, I believe, Noah was just telling me, we have come to an understanding with the oligarch class. We are allowed, evidently, now to play the press conferences. So we are going to do that. I thought there was going to be no Schmetz presser tonight. I was all ready to tell you guys, sorry, we can't play the presser yet. But apparently we can. So we're going to be playing the presser. We're going to be giving our reactions, and then we'll get you all in here to lay down your takes. But I guess while we wait for this presser, Noah, let's just do our usual thing and give our initial takeaways on the game. And we'll get to the Yamar injury, but I wanted to start with the lineup. I think that's a good place to start because there was a couple uncertainties going into this game, namely, what the attacking midfield was going to look like and who's going to start at striker. We were talking Osaze versus Moose this week leading up to it. I had kind of no idea what exactly Schmetz was going to do, but he goes out there with Osaze still starting up top, which I was fine with, and Snyder B getting the start at right mid. I thought, earlier this week that Paul Arriola might get the start, but it seems like he's not fit enough to do that yet. So you end up with Snyder B at right mid, which I guess can we start there? Can we start with the Snyder B right mid?
What did you think when you saw Snyder B at right mid?
I thought, hell yeah, why not, right? Like, he is a young kid. He's got energy. He's good on the ball. He has really good progressive vision. I don't think he has the same dog in him that like a Paul Arriola or Paul Rothrock has or anything like that. So I was a little concerned in that sense. But I don't like it. I don't want to see him playing there. The times where he looked the best was when he floated inside. There was one moment in particular in the kind of close to the beginning of the second half where he floated inside. He was playing almost his normal position, almost even a 10, honestly. And he floated in and he worked that ball forward for a pass that it went nowhere, but it looked the most dangerous of all of his opportunities. And I don't think that's his game. I don't think that like incessant pressing, fighting winger play is his thing. I think he's way better in that central channel. I just think like there are some players who are just sick as hell in that central channel. It's way harder to be sick as hell in that central channel than it is to be a winger. I would know. I was never sick as hell in that central channel, but I was pretty okay at the winger position. So I think honestly, I didn't love it, but I loved that we tried it. And I really do think this makes me to my next question for you. Hassani Dotson. I think this performance showed that he might need to sit for Snyder in some upcoming matches because I don't know how you felt, but I felt it was a little bit rough there tonight. And I think that's now at least a question for who should start in that position next to Christian Roldan.
Yeah, there was a couple more less than ideal giveaways from Hassani tonight, which, to be fair, I don't think a lot of guys were immune from the giveaway issue in this particular game. I do think, yeah, I mean, I think it's a discussion who should be starting there in a first choice 11 between the two of them right now. Like it's a good debate. I'm gonna wait to see more Hassani before I write him off or anything, because it is his first couple games on the team. We've talked about how there was probably going to be some kind of acclimation period there. So I am willing to accept that might be what's going on. And as he gets more comfortable and as he gets more acclimated, we'll see him reach more the level that we saw from him at Minnesota United, similar to the Jesus Ferreira situation last year. You know, there was a lot of talk in his first few games with the team last year about how it wasn't working out and it was a bust and he needs to sit, whatever. And then that turned out to be work out pretty well, which I guess that's another good segue into, I think, talk about the positives from this game before we get to the injury. But Jesus Ferreira picks up the assist on the lone goal of the game, and you know I'm happy for him, Noah, because it was at that exact stadium against this exact team last year where he had one of his worst games of the season, and it was also a situation where they were down some guys, and there was a lot of talk of, you know, this is a situation, this is why you trade for Jesus Ferreira, like for him to step up and make a play in a big moment in a game like this. And last year that didn't happen. And this year it did. So that was great to see. He's got 3 assists in 3 games. You take that. 2 of them primary. So this one was a primary. This one counts.
It counts. You can't write this one off.
You can't
write this one off.
It was on the game winner as well. And then what a finish by KKR though. Like that was a great.
Dude, the cutback, the way he moved his body, did the like fake shot.
Whew. I mean, like it's a great play by Ferreira to win the ball and then, you know, immediately pick his head up, pick out KKR. But then KKR makes a great individual play to take that ball down, shake the defender, and then finish that like past Roman Berkey, one of the best goalkeepers in MLS. Come on now,
designated keeper.
I feel like we haven't. I was thinking about this after he scored the goal. We haven't really talked that much about KKR, like leading up to the season and at the start of the season here. But I think that was a reminder. Like I feel like this guy, every time that he plays, he's making stuff happen. He's getting goal contributions. He's scoring, not just scoring goals, but like creating these really good, high level, high quality goals. I mean, you've been on the KKR agenda. That's one of your agendas dating back to last season. What do you think of watching him get that game winner?
I mean, it looked exactly like the type of player that I've seen him to be, especially in the attack, which is like he's an exciting player. He has really good body control. He's really good in those tight spaces. And I think that plays really well to, especially this game where it was just like clogged. It was just clogged in there. So I don't know. I really like what I've seen from him. I think getting him more starts, he's going to get more starts, especially now that Yamar is out. I assume they're going to slide. They're going to be doing the classic Alex Roldan center back, which we can talk about that later. But Kalani is definitely one of those pieces that's like an up-and-comer. Where do you put him? He's going to challenge for minutes this year. And I mean, if he's finishing like that and he's doing that consistently, it's going to be a Paul Rothrock situation where you can't keep him off the field. And similar to Paul Rothrock, because I see them together at training all the time, they'll be out there doing touches together after training's done, like all that kind of stuff. He's a dog. He's a dog. And I really do think that he fits this mentality so good, so good. And I wanted to go back to the Paul Arriola mention that you had, because did he not look absolutely lights out incredible tonight? Did he not look like a man possessed to win the starting role on the wing? He looked like prime U.S. men's national team Xolos Paul Arriola tonight. Like genuinely. I know we saw just a glimpse of it, but that was tantalizing. That was tantalizing.
Yeah, he looked good. I agree. And in that same vein, another guy I wanted to shout out, maybe not to the same degree as Paul Arriola, but Nikola Petkovic. I was like, okay, all right. He hit a couple of genuinely like really nice passes. Like he had one that sprung a counter that I can't remember was 2, but it was just a really good pass. And then I was like, all right, maybe that's just one good pass. And then he hit like another. I was like, all right, I saw something, So that was,
you saw the
good
vision.
Yeah, exactly.
I also loved on that last play where they kind of were dinking it around in the box. And I think that Cody Baker got flagged for being offsides. It kind of came back to Cody Baker. He plays it back in. Nikola Pekovic is standing wide open, kind of at the top of the box, back post almost, just with his hands up, screaming, just standing there, just absolutely screaming, yelling at his teammates like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I love that energy. You need that. He's a guy who has been tossed around, dogged down, put on Crown Legacy. What is a Crown Legacy? No one knows. So I think as long as he can absolutely keep up that dog mentality, play as that super sub, he could be great. But I have liked what I've seen. He's been playing a little bit for Tacoma Defiance as well. So I think just getting him his minutes, getting him his confidence back, it's going to be interesting to see what we get with him.
I wanted to shout out the defense as well. I've been saying for a while now that's kind of my biggest concern about this team. Can they balance this new, more kind of aggressive, high pressing Schmetzer ball with also being solid at the back and not giving up bad goals, ill-timed concessions, and dropping points? And I'm not gonna lie, like when KKR scored that really early in the second half, one of the things that was going through my mind was like, I kind of don't trust them to hold this lead based on a lot of what we've seen over the last year. Like they got it too early. It's too early. There's too much time left in this game for them to hold this lead. And, but I was like, what? Good. Like this will be some character building, like this is gut check time. You lost your starting CB. You got Alex Roldan playing CB. You got Snyder B playing right mid. Dig deep, absorb pressure, finish the game, get the win, take all 3 points, don't blow the lead. And they got kind of close to doing that a couple of times there. But that's part of playing on the road in MLS. Like the other team's going to have some chances. So credit to them for absorbing that. Got the presser up right now. Looks like we got KKR there and an empty chair next to him. Hopefully they bring someone else in there so he's not rolling solo. But yeah, look, we're gonna get to hear
right,
KKR.
Final reminder here as the players sit down. If you haven't already raised your hand and would like to ask a question, please do so. Kalani, thanks for joining us.
All right, Jackson sitting down. All you, Alex.
Sounds good. All right, Jada, why don't you go ahead and lead us off, please?
Great. Thank you. Congratulations on the win for both of y'all. I want to kind of know, we usually have this conversation.
Uh-oh. I think Noah just got booted from the call. There he is again. All right.
I'm back. Sorry, guys.
He's back. Minor tech difficulties, but the hostage video will be back right now.
Won the ball back and then played Kalani. Kalani came on, had a great game, and he had a great goal. So we're proud of him.
Yeah, it's a good feeling for sure. It's never a bad thing when it's what we train to, is to capitalize, and you give any team a chance like that in the box, they should score it. So we did what we've practiced, and it's kind of just going through the motions again. At that point, we train that kind of thing all the time. So when we see the opportunity in the game, it comes up. We got to capitalize on it.
And then, Kalani, can you give a little bit more detail as far as your goal? It seemed like you had a little bit of time to, kind of get comfortable a little bit and take the shot that you wanted. Can you kind of describe that?
Yeah, honestly, my first touch was not where I wanted it to go. It kind of popped up on me. But that's what the game is. You kind of take it how it comes. And I think my first touch kind of messed with them as much as it messed with me. And then I was quicker to get my second touch ready to go. I know that in those situations, I personally like to kind of take my touch across my body to then hit it with my left versus trying to open up, because that's, instead of going, it's kind of going against the grain, and it usually makes defenders stop. And I got enough space, top of the box, and then I just tried to find the corner.
All right, reminder to media, if you have a question, please go ahead and hit that raise hand function button. I'm light on that side right now. I am going to go to Nico and to next. I see your hand raised, Nico. Go for it, please.
Hi, yeah, Nico N2 now, House of Sounders. Question for Jackson. How well do you think the team adjusted after that forced substitution of Yamar earlier in the game?
Yeah, that's a big bummer. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But yeah, I thought the team did great. I think we have plenty of guys who can step up and do the job that's required. Like Kalani, for example, and Alex slotting in at center back, and all the subs that came on. And we're dealing with a couple injuries at the moment. So I think we have a lot of depth pieces who can step up and not have the level drop off.
And for Kalani, a bit of an easier, more fun question here. As for your celebration, could you talk about the inspiration behind the back flips? Like, is it like Obafemi Martin's inspired, or what's the inspiration about?
Honestly, it's like, so, I mean, I think you guys know by now, but I used to do gymnastics. So I used to always be bouncing around, flipping around. And so it just kind of became my celebration. In high school, I did a lot. I didn't score a ton of goals in college, but for the ones I did score, I would usually hit the backflip. And then now I guess, yeah, it's just, I'm just running with it. Sometimes I'm hesitant to do it because it's a tough look for sure if you do it and then you lose the game or tie the game, and then it's kind of like, all right, we're over celebrating. But this time I was just like, I'm just gonna do it, and worst case scenario, it gives me motivation to work as hard as I can so we don't lose this game.
Thanks. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right. I would love to see another hand or two if there are any remaining questions. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll go over to you, Kasim. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Jackson. Just wanted to know what you think of how Andrew's looking in the goals so far. 2 clean sheets in 3 games. How are you liking his play?
Yeah, he's done great. There's a couple of big saves he made tonight. Coming out on set pieces as well, and having some punches, and I think he did everything we asked. I think his distribution's getting better too. He had some, we're trying to play out of the back, and he's doing a great job. But I think also, having him and Steph as 2 really elite goalkeepers, I think gives the squad a boost of whoever's in goal. We have one of the best goalies in the league.
Still some time left on this road trip. How much confidence does this win give you guys going into the rest of it?
A ton. When we talked about it before last game, that all these road trips are huge, and in MLS it's really hard to win on the road. So wherever we can pick up points, we need to pick them up. And this was a great kind of tide shifter from last week after kind of a disappointing result at RSL. So getting a win here is great, and it's great momentum to take into the next week and then the week after that. And you gotta the earlier you get the wins, the more confidence we're gonna get, and the more buildup, the more we can make that snowball roll. So it's great to get that first win on the road here.
Thanks.
All right, Tim, we'll go to you next. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Just for both of you guys, curious your thoughts and feelings on playing with Alex Roldan as a center back, both of you playing on either side of him. How is that compared to playing with some of the other center backs in the team?
I think he's done it before last year, and I think the year before, so it's not something too new. Obviously he's just a different player than Yamar or another center back that I get to play with. But no, I think you saw tonight, the level doesn't drop off. I think we have a lot of different combinations we can make of a back 4 that's still going to be really elite when we're working well together and covering for each other and winning duels. So it was just normal.
Yeah, I love it. He's a versatile player, as we all know. I think that, like Jackson said, the depth is a huge thing, and being able to put him back there is great. For me personally, he's been a huge mentor for me, and just helped me my first couple years in the league. talking me through a lot of things. If I ever have questions, he's got me. So it's awesome to be able to play by his side. And I think that he is also a bit underrated there. Like, players are going to look and be like, oh, this guy's not a center back, but he's one of the best defenders in the league. He's one of the best distributors in the league. So it's great to have another guy like that in our back line.
All right, we'll take probably one more. Jada, go ahead with your follow-up, please.
Thanks. Kalani, St. Louis had kind of, you guys had under pressure a little bit before Yamar suffered the injury. So what was maybe said to you as far as when you went on, and obviously then there was that shift in positions too. So what was kind of the message to you?
Honestly, it was the same as what you would expect going into a game like that. It's brutal taking an injury like that, and it's always hard to sub in to a game like that when I literally get 2 runs on the sideline and then I have to go in the game. So it's not necessarily much of this tactic, that tactic, get all this stuff, because at that point it's just like you got to get in the flow of the game. So before going on in, it was just kind of like connect your passes, find your stride, catch your breath, just get into the game, because that's the most important thing at the start. And for me, my mindset is that same thing, just get into the game, because as soon as I start thinking about too much and which player I need to mark and get into this gap, that gap, it just makes it a bit more hard, especially after not getting much of a warm-up or anything. So for me, it's just connect the first couple passes, don't let anybody run past me, and just stay calm, because as soon as you start to panic, that's when stuff goes down the drain.
And it seemed like your first touch was kind of stopping, if I remember correctly, was stopping them from advancing. Is that right? I mean, do you remember your first touch? It seemed like you had
I honestly don't.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, Kalani, Jackson, thank you both very much for your time. Congratulations and safe travels home.
There you have it from oh no, you're muted.
210p.
Really high quality hostage video tonight. Looks like the Wi-Fi is actually just flying in St. Louis. But hopefully you guys were able to hear I was able to hear everything.
They're known for batteries. It's Energizer Park. They're not known for their internet connection. That's why we have Lumen Field, which is an internet provider. We can stream from there. Energizer Park, it's just how much the batteries are charged. So like you can't really get mad at them for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But good stuff in the actual answers there. I enjoyed Kalani's.
They're gone. They're gone. What happened?
Oh no. I enjoyed Kalani's breakdown of what was going through his head on the goal when the pass came in and all that. I always like hearing like exactly how they're thinking about and analyzing a play like that. And then also, harkening back to his gymnastics background with the backflip celly. Shout out
to a flip.
Martin. We're waiting on Schmetz here, but I mean, anything else stick out from?
I've got notes. Sorry, I got notes. Not from the presser, honestly. I don't really think. Well, actually, that's not true. Jackson Ragen touched on Andrew Thomas with that question there, and I just wanted
they
to
talked
touch
about
on
Alex
Andrew
Roldan
Thomas.
too. I thought that was
Yeah.
more
Okay, we'll hit those two.
Yeah, that was more substantive than your usual post game presser. But please dive into your notes.
Andrew Thomas looked so good tonight. He had a lot of saves. He had a lot of job to do and a lot of athletic job to do. He made a couple of dive. Yes. He made a couple of diving saves. He's done. Oh, he's here.
All right. Looks like we got Schmetz.
I don't know, Alex. What do you think?
I always love to hear from you. I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea too.
Do you see?
All right. Well, we'll kick it over to you.
So again, I'll let people kind of in on what I said to the group after the game, because look, these are one of these moments that we can share with all of the Sounder fans that support the team. Number one, the people up in the very highest section, I don't know where they were, section 200, 300, 400, I don't know where they were. I could still hear you. So thank you. After the game, of course, there was a quiet stadium, and our fans were beating their drums, and we heard them, and the players all went over there. So number one, thank you as always to the traveling fans. We're glad that we could, make this an enjoyable game. And then there were just too many positives in the game that I had to take notes in the game in case I forgot anybody, because I didn't want to offend anybody or just forget about some of the stuff. So, Osaze and Moose, what they do to score goals is important, but at the end of the day, the stuff they do defensively certainly, had a outcome. It helped us with the outcome of the game. They put a lot of effort into that. Albert, Jesus, Snyder, Paul Arriola coming on tonight, Nicola coming on tonight. The midfielders, they all have to do two things: defend and keep possession. The way we had a couple of little possession sequences as the game wound down to help us win and keep 1-0. At the back, starting at the back with Christian and Asani, those two guys had monster games. They were all over the place. They're exhausted in there. Asani and Christian are exhausted. Kalani, Alex having to deputize for Yaimar again. Jackson, what a frickin' monster game he had. Knew who. 90 minutes of concentration. Didn't put one foot wrong defensively. So very, very good. Cody Baker, I love that kid. Here's a kid from, Issaquah, Maple Valley. I know exactly where his home address is, but there's a kid from the Pacific Northwest that last tackle towards the end of the game. I love that kid. And so you've got Andrew Thomas, a learning curve for him tonight, because that was a hard game. So I'm pleased that he got through with the shutout. So there's so many positives. And then we ended with, Kalani, because there's a great story. If you ever want a great story, here's a kid who always seems to make plays. The guy comes on the field, he gives you energy, he gives you everything he has. But that play he made was kind of interesting, because Jesus gives him a good ball, but he kind of messes up the touch, and they were waiting to see if the ball had rolled up on his arm for a handball. But when he kind of miscontrolled it and he brought it back to his left, it kind of upset Berkey and the rest of the defenders. And then he hits it with his left foot and it goes in the corner of the net. And we're just like, just overwhelmed with joy on the bench to see that kid make an impact. I talk about it all the time, making plays. We needed to make plays to win on the road, and that kid was stellar. And then obviously these guys over here, Alex, they're probably going to text me in about 5 minutes for the Jingle Bell celebration, because we had like four rookies for Jingle Bell. So it was pretty good.
All right. And with that, we'll throw it over to you all for questions. Jada, why don't you go ahead and get us started, please?
Great. Said a lot there, so let me see if I can pick out something for. The one thing you didn't say. Well, I mean, with Yamar, what is do you know any of the status or anything like that?
It is a right leg injury, which I'm going to update you guys. It's a hamstring strain. We don't know the extent of it. He was stretching awkward. We'll give him the MRI. We'll figure out how long and what it is. So. We're sad about that, but stuff happens.
Yeah, sorry about that. But to the game, though, you don't have many opportunities where you guys get to take advantage of a defensive error and win. Last week we were talking about not playing very well defensively, and obviously that led into a loss. So, I mean, can you kind of maybe talk a little bit more, I guess, about the way that you guys defended? It seemed like a lot better execution and more so of what you want from your team.
Excellent question, Jada. Absolutely. The defending for the entire game was really good. I mean, look, in the first half, I would say we were loose with a couple of passes, and they were coming on some transition moments, some counterattacks. But that one in the first half when it was 3 against 2, I mean, Jackson did absolutely what he needed to do. He cut one of the options out, then closed the distance. We were able to recover. Alex again deputizing Kalani one-on-one in the wing channel. Knew who had a monster game on his side of the field. Paul Arriola did a lot of defending, when he came on, and good defending. So I would say overall, I give the defending an A+.
Okay, next we'll go to Ethan. Go ahead, Ethan, ask your question.
Hi, Brian. Congrats on the win. After the RSL game, you talked about needing to capitalize on opportunities, but also keeping a clean sheet to be able to win on the road. I was wondering what you thought of the guys' response after the result last week, and then getting a win on the road. I mean, how much confidence does that give you guys with this stretch of the schedule coming up?
Well, we always have the same message. The players executed tonight. The game against RSL, we played okay, but we just couldn't find that breakthrough on a goal. And again, tonight, Kalani gives us the chance to get ahead. The defense kept a clean sheet, did what we needed to do. So the confidence of the squad, the energy, even though they're dead tired, the energy in the locker room was really good. So I'm happy to see that. But look, we've got a tough stretch. Vancouver's playing Portland tonight. I hope Vancouver wins. And then, we've got a tough stretch.
1-0 Vancouver.
It's Kevin, my crack stats guy, Kevin K, who kept his job in preseason because he did excellent work in Spain, just informed me that it's 1-0 Vancouver. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Next, we're going to go over to Tim. Tim, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win. Just curious your thoughts on Jesus Ferreira's performance tonight and how you feel about his outlook for the season. He's already, directly or indirectly contributed to 3 goals.
Yeah, 3 assists. Look, the first couple assists against Colorado, Paul does the heavy lifting on the one. Paul, finishes a good. Jesus is putting the ball in the best spot. Tonight, I thought Jesus had like 3 or 4 really good, insightful passes, because I think that's where your question is leading. Sometimes to get on the stat sheet, it's something, but I as a coach, benefit of the panoramic view and all that, I see what he does and what he's looking at. In the first half, I thought he forced a couple balls because we needed to extend our possessions a little higher up the field, but I'm not going to criticize him because at least he sees the pass, which is good for me. Now, can you execute on what you see? Of course, we can argue that all day long, but Jesus is a very talented technical player that has good vision.
Thank you.
All right, Kasim, back to you. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. I was curious of what you thought of the brand of soccer tonight, with all the pressing back and forth. How do you think you got a leg up, and especially with the Kalani goal? How do you think you kind of came away in a battle of the presses?
I thought the game was pretty exciting in the first half. I'm going to watch the game on the plane ride home, but I came in at halftime and I was asking Freddie and Gianni upstairs. I said, man, did you guys, that was a fast game. That was entertaining. We were going back and forth in the first half. So that's credit to Yuan. And, St. Louis plays a little differently than they did last year. And so I thought the game was entertaining. It was a 1-0 score, but I thought the game was back and forth. And look, they had some chances at the end of the game. And then we had that sequence where, we get the ball and Snyder and Berkey has to make the save. And then we have the scramble and we got all this sort of stuff. So I thought the game was exciting. And, we're fortunate to win on the road. It's challenging, but credit to the effort that the guys put in.
And then one more. Paul got his first sustained run today, over 30 minutes. Looked pretty solid. What did you think?
Paul
Arriola, that's right. And he looked pretty good defensively, especially. What did you think of his play and how he's progressing?
He looked really good. He looked good. If he can continue to perform like that, he's going to push the starters. He's going to push me, more importantly, to find a way to put him on the field. He was intelligent. He put the work in. And you could tell he's just more composed. He's got that veteran kind of composure where, some of those possession sequences I talked about in my opening monologue, he was the one that started some of those because after you defend for a long time, the first pass, the second pass, the third pass, those are critical for you to, establish possession and get your team up the field.
Thanks.
All right, now we'll go over to Felipe and Makeda. Felipe, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Alex. Coach Brian, congratulations. Hassani Dodson has started the 3 games, and then my question to you is, how is the midfielder working for you after the exit of Obed Vargas and this Dan and these other guys? Are you happy with?
Happy, of course. Hassani's a talented player. He's a tough player, and I like that. He reminds me a little bit of a combination of Ozzy and Gustav. I mean, he's got a little bit of a bite to him. So I actually love that. And then he also, Felipe, he has soft feet. The ball at his feet, it doesn't look like he's, hurting the ball or killing the ball or whatever. He's got soft feet. So I think he's been a valuable addition to the squad.
Okay, next we'll go over to Nico and to Nico. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Brian. Congratulations on the win. Nico with the now independent House of Sounders. A start for a young player and academy product, Stuart Hawkins. He's also been involved in the first games too. So how do you feel he did today and overall in the first 3 appearances?
Well, Stuart didn't play. I'm assuming you meant Snyder.
Yeah, sorry, not Hawkins. I meant Snyder, Brunel.
Okay, I knew what you meant, and welcome aboard. Look, Snyder did really well. He played in an advanced position tonight. Normally he's played at one of the double sixes where it might be his natural spot, but I thought he did very well tonight. You guys saw his quality, his ability to kind of wiggle out of things. The last question about Obed, Snyder is the most similar to some of Obed's qualities. He can get the ball and dribble out of pressure, but he was excellent tonight, put the work in. Super, super talented kid.
And I asked Jackson a similar question and wanted to get your thoughts on it as well. Basically, how do you feel like the team adjusted defensively after that forced substitution of Yamar?
Right. I mean, we didn't change anything defensively, like rotations or when to press, how to press. Alex has played there plenty of times for us. Last year he played center back in a back line of 4. We did not go to a back line of 5. That was back line of 4 specifically. Even when Cody Baker came on, we still stayed in the back line of 4. And that's how much confidence I have in Alex Roldan.
Thank you.
All right, time for 1, maybe 2 follow-ups tops. Jada, go ahead if you have one.
Thanks. I just wanted to ask about Kalani. Was there a consideration or a debate about anybody else as far as who to bring on when you did lose Yamar?
No. Look, the natural thing would have been to slide Nuhu in as a center back and Jackson and bring someone out on the left. But Jada, we did it the other game. It worked against RSL, so that was an easy choice.
All right, my board is clear. Thank you all for your questions. Brian, thank you for your time. Safe travels home. Nice job, Kevin.
Nice job, Kev.
Guys, thanks, Alex.
You got it. Okay, media, any needs?
Shout out, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. Shout out, Kevin. I did text him the photo of everyone in chat shouting him out, and he said, "I'm famous," and a smiley face. So,
hell yeah.
Chat, you
I'm
made Kevin's night.
Glad we worked the Kevin shout out in there. Yeah, there you have it from Invisible Schmetz. You had Invisible Schmetz to start off the presser, and then Schmetz did make an appearance on screen for the last part of it. So, but I thought starting it with Invisible Schmetz was a fun little wrinkle, actually. So the lack of Wi-Fi in St. Louis, I think it's actually added to the content in a way. But Noah, my takeaway from that presser is Schmetz was vibing. I mean, he was vibing. That's the happiest I've seen him after a win in a minute. Like but so I think why do you think that is? I think it is because I think someone pointed it out in chat, but that's like Schmetz's favorite type of win. You're down a bunch of guys, you're on the road, you're under pressure, you got to roll up your sleeves and gut it out. It's ugly at times. You got to absorb pressure. The goalkeeper's got to make some saves, but you get it over the line and you take the road win. But I think probably part of the reason why he's so happy is because there was a lot of games like that last year where they didn't get it over the line and they didn't take all 3 points, especially on the road. There was a few of those instances. So I think he is just kind of over the moon that they were able to take a type of win early in the season that they struggled in those situations last year. So that's probably why he's feeling it right now. Looks like
I completely agree.
Looks like we got Timbo in the feed. Are we getting the call train?
I punched out the calls just to see if we could stack some callers, but we can finish up with our convo here quickly.
All right, Timbo, hold tight for a couple minutes, and then we'll get the calls rolling soon. The link's out, so if you guys want to start filling the queue up, feel free. We're gonna rip a couple more minutes here, and then we'll get that going. Did you have anything else that?
Yeah, I have a question for you. Now that you've seen Osaze get his run, and you were pushing, you were saying, do we start Moose? Do we start Osaze? Do we start Moose? Do we start Osaze? Who is starting against Vancouver?
It seems like they're going to keep rolling with Osaze. One thing I was thinking about was Moose did have that back issue in preseason. So in all likelihood, Osaze is a lot more fit, and that might have something to do with why he started this game. But I also think they're trying to get him going. They're trying to tap into this Osaze ceiling. And, I thought it wasn't like an amazing game for him, but I liked a lot of what he was doing. He was working really hard. His hold up play was really good. He was doing a lot of dirty work, which I think is something that he offers more than Moose. So it was not I think so far it's you feel like he's not quite really hitting the level that he was in preseason where he looked like a demigod, but I still do like a lot of what I'm seeing. I don't know what did you think of Osaze's performance tonight?
I don't think he was bad as a player, but I just don't think he's playing the role that they need him to play. When you've got a right back scoring your game-winning goal and your 9 has one shot that was one of the worst shots at, I don't know what it was the 63rd minute when he took that shot. He dribbled, he had a good run going, and then he was like, I think I need to shoot now. I think I have to shoot right this second when there is a big-ass man right in front of me. I think I need to shoot right now. He shot, and obviously he did not even get close to making it. I think you have to start Moose at this point. I think
come around.
Who else is going to start up there? Yusu Kanome, is he going to start up there? We don't know what he looks like. You know what I'm saying? These are the options we have. I'm not saying I'm happy, but Moose is giving you more than Osaze in that hold-up play, which is, you kind of got to try that. I want to see how it looks. You're never going to know until you see how that looks. Maybe Osaze off the bench is going to look great. I don't really know what to make of it. Moose also missed his chance, so it's a little bit of a tough situation. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know what's going on at the 9 position, but I don't hate what Musovski's doing, frankly, because I think he's looked fine and good, and I don't hate what De Rosario's doing, but there's definitely not a number 9 in our rotation right now that I'm like, hell yeah, guys, I'm super confident we are going to be scoring a shit ton of goals through our 9.
Yeah, I still believe that they can get Osaze going and scoring goals like they did in Leagues Cup last year. I think this game in particular, where it's a road game where you're down a bunch of guys and you got Snyder B starting at right mid, I don't necessarily expect a super beautifully executed match offensively under those circumstances. So hopefully when they get a little healthier, play guys in position and get the season rolling, we'll see more of Osaze looking like he did in preseason. And then for me with Moose, Moose tonight, he only really had the one really good chance, but they were also kind of sitting on the lead the entire time he was in the game. So I don't think they were like playing like they would normally play with him out there in this game. So I do think ultimately though, like both these guys are going to be playing a lot. Like there's a ton of games coming up. The squad's real thin right now. So it's one of those.
Isn't it great to be 3 games into the season and your entire squad is decimated already?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Can any of you play center back? Because you might have to for the Seattle Sounders, because they are 3 games into the season and they're already doing Alex Roldan CB, which, you know, is a fun novelty, but it's not necessary. It's not what you want, like, in an ideal world.
Are we going to see Cody Baker center back? Are we going to see Cody Baker center back? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't. The CB situation is obviously tough, but I do think that it makes it like this was a good win, man. This was a good win. Like when you have your starting CB go down that early in the game, already thin elsewhere and at that position. And you know, it's tough road game. I know St. Louis isn't very good, but like these types of games, even if it's a bad team, it's still hard. The degree of difficulty on taking results in MLS under these circumstances is pretty hard, like when healthy. So the fact that they were that depleted, had the starting CB go down, and they were able to win, it's a good win. Like I'm not going to poke any holes in that.
Absolutely, I agree. Like the win is nothing to be taken away from the squad. That's what these squads are made of. A Brian Schmetzer squad is a bunch of dudes who like don't really give a shit what their position is on the depth chart. They're going to go out there and try and win, and that's sick. That's kind of why I love the X-Dog mentality, right? He's like, Kalani, he's sick. Hell yeah, whatever. Like he can be a star, even though he's not even close to being a starter right now on this roster. I mean, he's going to be now, but you know, like when you came into the season, he wasn't even a voice in our head like, oh yeah, he's going to start in the back. But I have to say this because I've been known to be the biggest Alex Roldan lover on the entire planet. Frankly, I should just change my username to Alex Roldan lover. Is he maybe even better at center back? Is he maybe just destined to be a center back? Because hear me out. His last-ditch effort clearance on the post, on the St. Louis shot, every time he plays center back, he has one of these miraculous plays that's like a 0.5, 0.6 XG shot that he's blocking. And I'm like, maybe he should just be playing center back. Maybe he should just be a center back. The guy is incredible. To me, Alex Roldan was my man of the match tonight. He was just lights out. He was just lights out. He can do everything. He can play CDM. He can play winger. He can play 9. He can play goalkeeper. He can play CB. He could probably play head coach, referee, linesman. I mean, this guy is the absolute ultimate utility tool, and I'm not even scared of him starting and continuing to play CB as long as Ragen is out.
No, I'm definitely there as far as like if you are in this situation with the depth chart, it's like an actively good option to have. I don't know if I think he's a better CB than he is right back. I think like one of his biggest assets is, his wide service and like ability to like create from that position. But I mean, to what you're saying, like he moved there unexpectedly tonight, really early in the game, and was like that. I don't think he made a mistake that I could think of, which it's pretty crazy.
Insane.
And now we have like 3-4 games where he's had to do this, and he's kind of done that every single time. Like I don't think he's had a moment in those 3 or 4 games where I've been like, oh man, this looks dicey, this is gonna go off the rails. Like no, he just is nails.
Yeah, it isn't. I just am obsessed with him, man. Like I'm obsessed with him. He's so good.
That was awesome. That was awesome what he did in this game.
He's so sick, dude. He's so sick. And honestly, what's even cooler is in a weird way, because you can't not have him on the field. That center back position opens up a Kalani Kossa-Rienzi, like a lot of minutes from him. Like that's really important for his growth, for the team's growth. You know, whatever happens with the Yamar injury and whatever, like TBD, right? It's a hamstring injury, though, on a guy who is 30. What? How old is he? 32.
33,
Yeah.
34, 33,
33, 34. Love that. And, Ryan Saylor has literally not reported to practice. He's reported to the White House more times than he's reported to practice. We have Stu Hawkins is still injured. You have, who else at CB is injured? Kim Hehe, who's even older than Yamar, is also injured and hasn't played. And your next best option is Nuhu and Alex Roldan, who are effectively, wide backs. Like, I don't trust Nuhu as a center back personally.
He was good tonight.
No, I was going to note this. I have this on my notes, which of course this is the last thing that I am reading off of my notes. Maybe the rumors are true that I'm a Nuhu hater. I'm not, but kind of cooked. Kind of not even slightly. He just cooked. He had a great matchup. He put that the one dude who has the whitest name of all time in absolute hell. Didn't put a foot wrong. Like,
he had an insane block too. That
diving block was just absolutely incredible. Huge Nuhu game. Like, absolutely huge Nuhu game. He continues to look good on the ball too. What's up with that? He's not supposed to be good on the ball like that.
No, it was just
why is he doing that? So
shout out to the whole back line for this win. Like, if I could give Kalani the match, it would just be the whole back line. Like, because they were under it for a lot of the game too. I did think I didn't like the game state in the first half really. Schmetz was talking about how it was entertaining and back and forth, and I agree with that for the first 10-15 minutes. But that's when on the road, I just don't really like having it. Felt like you're kind of playing into how they wanted to play. But I will say this too about St. Louis City. That was a team that was known for Ramsey balling last year and being absolute cowards, and that's how they won the game against Seattle last year. Was they Ramsey balled? I remember that. They got a free kick at the very end, and their new coach, that he could be doing that same stuff again, but he's clearly not. Like, they played so different than they did last year. They were trying to counter the Sounders to bits, and
it's hard because Simon Betcher's awful. Simon Betcher's terrible.
They don't have the personnel, I think, to play like that. But I can respect the fact that the new coach is having them play like that. Like, it was much more ethical footy from them in this game than we saw from them all of last year. When, remember, their coach was throwing out 6 center backs in the same 11 type.
It was literally the Chelsea joke where the park the bus, where it's literally they're parking the bus. It was pretty nasty. We didn't talk about that enough.
Yeah, no, we didn't because Ramsey ball overshadows it.
But, that was worse. How you to be that bad, but not as bad as Ramsey ball again. Ramsey, I can't even talk about it. I just can't talk about it.
Let's hit this super chat and then we'll get the calls rolling. Zippy Tuna getting started with the 5. Thank you, Zippy. Eastern Conference non-playoff teams 10 through 15th, 0-0 and 15 negative 32 goal difference. That is all.
Best conference, guys. This is what I said on Soccer Wise. Okay, I said the Eastern Conference is an absolute joke. And Goss looked at me like I was insane. And so I kind of walked it back a little bit because I was embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed anymore. I'm going to say it. The Eastern Conference is an absolute joke. An absolute joke. Free Pep BL. Get him off that team. Get him on the Sounders.
That game was a lot of fun.
That game was awesome.
Red card. Yeah, that was sick. And you had Willie Zaha as a key character, which is always fun. But all right, let's get these calls rolling. We got Timbo and then we got Gianni after that. And that's all that's in the queue right now. So if you want to hop on and lay down some takes on this 1-0 dub over St. Louis City SC, get on in here and we'll get you on the screen. But let's lead it off with Timbo. We're going to bring him in right now. Timbo, he's got the Schmetz background. Timbo, 1-0 victory at St. Louis City SC. KKR with the game winner and a backflip. What'd you think? How you feeling?
It was fantastic. How are you doing, boys? Great off season. This is the first time I've been on chats. I know we're game 3 in now, but hell of an off season you guys put together. Really appreciate it. All things considering, that the product that Apple is putting out in MLS, I think you guys, the amount of content and the ability to pronounce players' names correctly on our team and other
That's
teams.
that's tough.
That's
I didn't shout out Pablo de la Vega yet. All right, Pablo de la Vega. Where was Pablo de la Vega tonight?
Where the hell is? And this is why we need to trade Pablo de la Vega. We need to trade him.
Oh my God!
Probably at the White House this week. Who knows?
Well, yeah.
The other kind of bit of note: 4 goals over the course of the season, 50% from the bench. Like that's pretty good at this point. Like I know we're looking for starters that are going to score goals. We'll get there, but like it's nice to see guys coming off the bench and really getting after it. So tonight's an example of that. The Paul Rothrock goal, the first game of the year, was great. And then the other thing, keep in mind, with the this is the 6th time we've played St. Louis. I think we're 5-1. So what I mean, like we're almost the win ratio against this team is even better than the Loons. And give it time.
They've only lost once. They've only lost once.
I mean, that's
last year. Yeah.
So I think with all the away games we're going to have early on, I think this is important to have, grab the points where you can because we're going to have breaks and stuff with the World Cup and all that coming up.
Is the Shield race on?
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, it seems like we're doing better than our compatriots in the Cascadia Cup, and we'll see how that actually goes head to head here soon.
Oh yeah, Vancouver is up 1-0 at the half right now, so not looking good for the old Timbies.
Don't want to talk too much about Portland on a Sounders podcast, but they're dog shit, and hopefully we'll continue.
They're bad, Phil. But like the problem is with Portland is like I want them to be mediocre because Phil Neville not only is an incredible character in this whole like bit that we have. He's a really bad coach. So it's been so like healing to watch just the worst football you've ever seen come from a guy who is one of the funniest press conference guys of all time. It's like
it would be really funny if his brother commented on this league the way he comments on Premier and just kind of puts him to task.
Be so good.
And then I guess to round out, kind of looking at it, I thought Nuhu played like a really mature game tonight, and I think he was under a lot of pressure to be Nuhu, right? Like to kind of get that yellow card, to get that foul that's going to get us into bad shots and stuff, and just I think he kind of just kept it together and showed. I mean, I hate to say it for the Nuhu haters, but signs of leadership in a defense, especially when you have guys who are going down. I mean, that's wild to think about that he, Nuhu is not being Nuhu tonight and was actually leading a really good defense that pulled out a clean sheet.
Are we seeing personal growth from Nuhu?
Who would have thought?
It's wild.
It only took him 18 years.
We've come a long way from throwing the ball into the stands and getting a crash out red card.
If that was his final crash out, may it be his magnum opus. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good magnum opus if it was. Timbo, anything else that you wanted to hit on from this game or this road trip coming up here?
I don't. Other than I'm assuming you boys are going to Spokane, and I think it's gonna be a wild party. I am not. I'm jealous of folks who are. I hope the 4,500 of you have a blast.
Yeah. No, we're going. This is a funny story, so I just want to share it because I think it's funny. I booked an Airbnb for us in the squad, obviously, as I do. I'm the business guy. I accidentally committed fraud by booking this Airbnb because I used my ex-girlfriend's credit card. And then she called, canceled the card, and Airbnb was like, yo, why are you committing fraud? And I looked, and it was my ex-girlfriend's credit card, and then we had to have a phone call and a conversation. And I'd say, hey,
how long have you not been with this particular lass? Is it more than 6 months?
It's been months. It's been months. We're cool. She's great.
Sure. I mean,
I said, let me hit your Venmo. Let me hit your Venmo, and maybe you undispute the charge. My bad for the fraud. So just let's hope that the Sounders don't have a disaster class in Spokane like I did. That's all I have to say.
There you have
put
it.
that
Lobbing
juju
Scorchers
on it by
committing
using
fraud.
Max's credit card.
Yeah, or we're an open book here on Lobbing Scorchers. So shout out to her. She's awesome for not
deal.
suing me or something.
You love a good a little bit of fraud.
Is that the ultimate Lobbing Scorchers tech bungle?
Yeah, I think so. You might have outdone me with that one, but all right,
Yeah,
Timbo.
We're all growing tonight. You guys have a good one.
Thank you, Timbo.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, man. Great call, and we'll talk to you on the next one. All right, we're gonna get Gianni in here, and then there's still no one in the queue after that. Maybe is the link pinned, or do you want to toss it in there?
It's pinned.
Okay,
Yep.
Link is pinned. So anyone who
Maybe it'll
wants
just be a
to-
short one tonight.
It could just be a short one tonight. I wouldn't be opposed to that necessarily, but if you guys do want to get in here, that we're going to be here for a little bit longer, so feel free to tap in. All right, I've been looking forward to this. This man has not been on the show for country minute at this point. Thank God we got him back. It's Gianni. What's up, man? Great to see you.
Great kit.
Hey guys. Well,
fire.
glad to be back. Just got to say, first of all, I'm putting Noah on Fraud Watch. I guess it's not really Fraud Watch, as it is already admitted.
Yeah.
Literal fraud watch.
And then also,
Fraud Watch is
Schmetz-
complete.
Yeah. And Schmetz, I'm 6'2" and 215, and I can run faster than Jackson, so hit me up.
How
might
are
have
your
to-
hamstrings?
You might have to do it.
At this point, non-injured.
Okay. All right.
That's,
I'm
yeah,
texting him.
Yeah, let him know. Let him know. And yeah, we'll get in touch. We'll have his people hit my people.
Yeah, no, I can. So this is a vocal agreement. I'm now your agent. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Yes, I
get
agree.
60. Yeah. So I get 65% of your salary and signing bonus. We'll deal with the rest later. It's a 360
we'll work
deal.
out. We'll work this out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Perfect.
Gianni, 1-0 win at St. Louis City SC. KKR with the game winner and a backflip. What did you think? How are you feeling?
Man, KKR is the man. I fucking love that dude. That dude just works his ass off and just finds himself in the right positions all the time. I cannot wait to see that guy starting at some point.
Yeah, same. Well, you're going to see him start now until Yamar. So, I mean, I think this is like what I was trying to say is, yes, it sucks to lose people, but you now get the opportunity to see Kalani. You now get the opportunity to see more Kalani and even more Kalani. I don't know. What do you think, Kalani?
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best of all worlds, then, isn't it?
Exactly. It's the best of. Except Yamar. We're
Yeah, that
our
was
thoughts.
a rough injury. So I actually went through it while we were in the press conferences and watched that back. It was a really awkward landing, and I don't think that one's going to be coming back super soon. Just the way, so he came in and like planted his leg, and it looked like his heel stuck, and he just kind of went over the top and just stretched that thing. I was like, watching that in real time, and I saw him go down. I was like, oh fuck.
When he didn't get up and like slam the ground just like Jordan did when he went down, I literally had war flashbacks. It was awful.
Yeah. It was like Fortunate Son in the background, helicopters and everything. It was just like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
No,
we're talking like probably 4 to 6 on that. So I mean, I don't know that, but I'm guessing.
At least. I mean, if Jordan's was a grade 1 quad strain and it's taking him 4 weeks, this Yamar injury is probably looking closer to 8.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking of it. Unfortunately, I mean, how do you feel the squad set up to deal with that? You know, Alex Roldan came up huge tonight. Can you do that every game? Noah thinks so. I mean, apparently you can, but I would rather not find that out. But I guess we're gonna find that out.
So I like Alex in the 3 center back system. If we were playing him as a 2 center backs with outside backs, probably not. But I mean, this is what we're gonna have to do. Like, what is our other option at this point, right? Stuart Hawkins, who knows when he's back? Ryan Taylor, I don't know he's ever gonna see the field as a Sounder.
He might not.
No, I don't think he's going to. And
He
honestly,
reported to training, and now what is a degenerative knee issue? What does
that
mean?
That sounds like a chronic injury that they knew he had in Miami. And so if he went into the transfer portal or if he was in that transfer and they said that he was healthy and it turns out he's not healthy, there is actually a recourse for them to.
You can't do that. You
can't.
They
do
can
that.
unwind that trade. So that would not shock me if that's what they're going through right now.
That's interesting. Okay, we're gonna have to dig more into that. I'm gonna get our insiders on that. Nico Moreno.
I would like to get some sort of clarification because that would change things a lot. But yeah, Alex looked great as that right-sided center back. His distribution from that position is fantastic. We know he can hit that ball. He has better distribution out of the back than Yermar does. It takes some of the onus off of Jackson, which is also nice because it makes him a little more press resistant because he has an outlet to the side of him rather than him having to be the one to launch that ball downfield. So that's a benefit because Nuhu's not the guy that I want passing out of the back most of the time.
No.
Nuhu is great taking that ball forward. I mean, we saw what he did moving that ball forward when Paul Arriola cleared space for him. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah, I think the one thing that I really want to see, though, is an Arriola start with Osaze up front. Osaze needs a winger to feed him. Jesus Ferreira, I know that there's a lot of people who like him. I don't hate him. What he isn't is a winger.
Not in the traditional sense.
No,
Paul Arriola is much more of a pure skill set that can give Osaze that service. Whereas I like what Jesus does in that wide channel, but it's not the same thing as like a normal winger. He and Rothrock both kind of play it different.
Yeah. So when you have Osaze up there and your right wing was Snyder and your left wing was Jesus, are we shocked that Osaze is not getting the ball fed into him like he would for a target forward like we want to see it?
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point as it pertains to the Osaze Moose debate because the setup with Snyder out there and Jesus out there, it does not lend itself to a target striker very well. So before we write off the Osaze experiment, I agree. I want to see him with Arriola or just like a more traditional.
Well, and then if you think about what is our current subbing pattern looking like? Osaze is coming off, Moose is coming on. Jesus is coming off, Arriola is coming on. And so that means that Osaze hasn't seen a minute of the field with Arriola. Moose is looking better than Osaze on the field. Moose is not playing with Jesus. Osaze is not playing with Arriola. So we're kind of being forced into this decision. It's like, oh, so who should we start? It's like, well, I mean, we haven't seen one of the options yet. So you keep making the same sub pattern over and over and over again. It's like, there's another option here. You could give, I know that Arriola is probably not fit to start yet. I bet he's got 60. And
that's what I was hoping, but
yeah. So, and I was mentioning this in the Discord and someone's like, okay, you don't want to start someone who's not 90 fit. It's like, if they're guaranteed 60, I mean, you've got some options here. You could use them for 45, and you don't have to burn a sub window. You do have to burn a sub. But at the same time, if you knew that Arriola is good for 60, you could put him on for 45 rather than subbing him on at 60 and only getting him for 30. You don't lose the window. You're still making that same sub. You're getting an extra 15 minutes out of him. You're increasing our probability of scoring because you have an actual winger playing the winger position. I think that that's a reasonable thing to at least consider.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just with our wingers in general, man, that needs to be sorted. We cannot be having this issue going forward. I know that Jordan, he was good for he was durable for 1 year, that 1 year leading into the contract that he's on now. Yeah.
The escalators year, yeah, famously.
But let's be real. This guy has had injury issues in the past. Like, and it's not just the ACLs. He's done his hamstrings before. Like, and now he's onto his quads. Like, he is actually prone to soft tissue injuries. Additionally, if we want to
I can't say it. Because I got the Pedro hate, so I can't.
No, I'm gonna.
You
You
say it. You dish it. You dish it.
Let's also talk about that escalator. Like, if we want to talk about escalators, let's talk about that contract. When he signed that contract, what position was he playing?
Striker.
No, he was a left wing.
No, he was a winger. Yeah,
he was a winger when he signed
first signed.
When he signed the contract that had the escalators in it, he was a winger.
Yes, when he signed it.
So, if he scored that number of goals from the wing, it would have made sense to escalate him to a DP. What happened was Raul Ruidiaz regressed to the point where we could not start him in good conscience. Yeah, like there was no reason to continue starting him. So what did we do?
And they still did.
Yeah. We tried that for a long time, and as it turned out, that was not a good idea.
But we did get the greatest player in Sounders history, Paul Rothrock.
We did.
From that. Because Ari said, I need to start a podcast to start begging them to stop playing him and play Paul Rothrock instead. So that's
the whole reason the show exists. Yeah.
But
yes,
I would say that the reason Jordan Morris hit those numbers is because he wasn't playing as a left wing, he was playing as a striker. You score more goals from striker than you do from wing. And so in a way, he kind of scammed himself into the DP contract.
Which is kind of sick if you think about it.
It's kind of fine.
No. Like, get that money. I don't hate that. What I do hate is that it is now it's using one of our DP contracts, not having earned it from the wing position. Because if he was scoring goals from the wing position like Denny Belonga does, fucking go for it, dude. Yeah, get all that money. You take that DP contract and run. But at this point, should we be talking about trying to get a contract extension going this year? Because if you do, you could actually extend him at a level that would take him down from a DP. Because he's 31 or 32. He's
30.
got probably like
31.
5 years left. Approach him, ask him like what his long-term goals are. Like at this point in time, he probably doesn't want to go to England again. Like he doesn't want to go out of the country. He has a family. He's set up in Seattle. I doubt that he wants to move his family from Seattle to go try and reestablish at another club. So why not offer him like max TAM for the next 4 or 5 years? Throw some club options on there. I don't know. Let the lawyers figure that part out. Try and get him locked down for a longer term contract at not a DP. We can resolve that this year. Following that, let's look at the Pedro aspect of this. If he gets healthy, oh shit, my shit is. Did my computer fall asleep? Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay,
you're alive.
Yeah, my screen went to sleep. So, with the Pedro stuff, we need him to get healthy. Obviously, if there's an offer that comes in, you snap accept that. If it's like worth anything at all, like just snap accept it. This dude, I get that he has looked good. We cannot be doing this injury thing. Like the best ability is availability. And what we don't have is 2 available DPs.
Yeah.
Like I get that this guy on his best day can be a world-class player. The problem is how many of those days do we get?
Yeah, no, I mean, it is, it's a valid point. Just what I come back to, and I mean, you addressed it, but what I come back to is like, but God, he's so good.
He is when he's on the field.
Yeah. But I think, where I'm
I mean, like
with,
that's the constant thing. It's like you can weigh the benefit of having a really, really good player, but it's only good if the product is on the field. If the product is on your bench, then you're not getting any benefit from that product.
No, you're not. Yeah. I mean, where I'm at with the DP situation is basically just like, I mean, if you get a good offer for De La Vega, I wouldn't be against it. But I think the most realistic scenario is that you let this year play out, and hopefully the way it works out is you can get them healthy and contributing, and they actually look like they can be on the field enough to be viable DPs, or at least in the case of De La Vega, I think that that's what's going to happen, and I'm okay with that. And then as for Jordan, I think what you're saying about the extension actually makes a lot of sense. And if they get to the end of the year and he was like unavailable for a lot of or most of the year, again, I would say that they kind of have to do something like that. Like,
I don't think you need to wait that long. Like, there's no reason to wait that long. We are going into a time period where there can be a lot of movement happening, especially this summer, leading into the World Cup window. I don't think that waiting until this offseason is the right move. If Pedro gets hurt,
we need to sell Pablo.
Yeah, Pablo needs to get off this team. I just not a fan of it. But honestly, Pedro gets one more injury, like not just like a little knock or something, but I mean like another month-long, couple months injury. That is straight up. That's buyout time. Like, you cannot keep
nuclear option.
No, you can't keep doing this. Like, how many different times can we have him go down with a multi-week injury? Like, okay.
The problem with buyouts, though, in MLS is they're so stacked against the club. Like, that's the reason. Like, we literally cannot buy out Jordan Morris. Like, his contract, it's just like it's impossible. No. Pedro, I think he's making less, so I think it is technically possible. But if you buy him out in the middle of the season, not in like a non-off season, you take the whole hit of his salary plus the buyout. So you're fucked. We have no cap space.
Only if no one picks him up. Yes, like if no one picks him up, then yes, you're on the hook for that money. If we think someone's going to pick up that contract, well,
yeah, you essentially could trade him. And then
well, I mean, so because technically the league still reclaims his right, like holds his rights. And so basically inside of the league, you give up your ability to claim him as a player, but someone else can come and claim him. They then have to take on the burden of that contract, and it removes it from your books. So yes, you would have to pay it out. Although,
which I think
only for another year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only for another year. And I think that his salary can be TAM. I think he's in the salary TAM threshold.
Yes. So the only reason he's a DP for us is because of the transfer fee.
Yeah.
Because he's not actually making all that much money. The other option is, like, you could also try and rework his contract. But at this point in time, is there a reason to rework his contract? Like, do you want to extend him? Because I don't want to extend him right now.
Ari does. I think Ari would be cool
if you could get him on books,
TAM.
If you got him on the books as not a DP, there would be less stakes on it every time he gets injured.
Well, exactly. And so that's the whole thing. Like, you can afford to have like players who have a little bit of a downside if they're your TAM players. Our problem is we've got those players taking up our designated player spots. And we can't go through another season playing with like one, maybe two DPs because it lowers your ceiling too much. It also lowers your floor too much. Like, we have Albert out there trying to just kind of like sheer force of will this team. Like,
yes, okay. I saw someone talking about the same stuff we were talking about, but saying we need to move off Albert Rusnak, and I was like, I'm sorry, he is the most durable DP in this entire league. Like, this dude plays every goddamn minute of every goddamn game. And he's good. I would rather have an Albert Rusnak at all three designated player positions. Yeah, he's not Messi. I don't care. I want a durable, talented, production-heavy player as my designated player.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, how many games, like, outside of that one, I think it was his first season, he strained his calf.
He had one, he missed a couple games last year, but he
really, everyone can miss a couple of games.
He missed a lot of leagues.
Not a big deal.
He missed a lot of Leagues Cup last year, I think.
That's
okay,
right,
whatever. Okay, whatever. Like, you can miss a few games. we're not talking about like 30, 40, 50% of the season. We're talking about a couple of games here. With the other two, we're talking closer to 60, 70% of a season out injured. That's unacceptable. You can't be doing that with your designated players.
They do it with their designated players, and
yeah, and we crashed out in the first round.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like I don't know what you want me to say. Like, sure, we
cinema.
did it, and then we finished lower in the table than we should, which meant we were not hosting our home games, which meant we then had to go to Minneapolis twice. And what happened? We fucking lost to the terrorists.
Was that because of the absences of the attacking DPs though? Because that's the only thing that where I might like,
well,
not
you can
like,
say that it was on the on our defense, but also there are a lot of times in these games where we are unable to hold possession of the ball, and we end up white knuckling it to the end of games like we did tonight. And so it is possible that while it's not necessarily their attacking prowess that we're missing, we're losing our ability to hold possession of the ball, which is making it harder for us to kill off games.
Okay. I haven't really thought about it like that yet. I've kind of been of the mind that
you gotta bait him more. He's not gonna get mad at you unless you tell him that like Pedro de Viga's shit. He's done nothing. He literally could go to in the dustbins of Sounders history, and people would be like, "Oh, who cares?" Like you gotta bait him more. You're not getting angry enough, Ari. This isn't content enough.
So he's making actually some decent points here. So
I did make a lot of these points.
You can
before,
stack bodies. Like you want to stack bodies in front of goal, go for it. But eventually one of those balls is going to squirt through.
Yeah,
it's true.
The problem is like you can't just sit there and bunker and absorb pressure for that long. At some point in time, you have to break pressure and hold possession.
They were playing with
we
fire.
didn't do that tonight.
They were playing with fire with that tonight, and they were pretty bad in possession tonight,
And honestly, like we played with fire a lot last year too. And it's not shocking to me that we ended up giving up goals that cost us wins, turns wins into ties, ties into losses. Like that shit happens when you can't hold possession. And sometimes you can't hold possession because you don't have some of the talent out there to beat a man, break a tackle, get out into space, hold the ball, and make a good pass. Yeah. And that comes from having, yes, X-Dog is great. X-Dog cannot make up for skill sometimes.
Yeah.
Absolute cinema.
Good points.
This is Gianni, what we missed. This is what we missed. We need you to call in.
I know, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. The last, like, towards the end of the second half of the season, fucking life got crazy, man. I was in school. I finally fucking graduated. I'm off that shit.
Hey, congratulations.
Diploma.
Chat, give us some super chat money for that. Give us some super chat money for that.
Put it towards my student loans.
Yes. Dude, congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. We got Tyler in the queue next, but do you have any like final wrap up points that you wanted to hit about this game or the season coming up here?
Somehow Nuhu decided like he started getting spun up tonight and decided instead of taking that red card, he was just gonna like brush that off his shoulder and walk away. My man, if that's not maturity, I don't know what the hell it is.
We're very
Salute
proud.
to you.
We're very proud.
Our goat. Our goat.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Gianni.
Great stuff as always, man. Great to have you back on the show. Don't take any breaks that long again. We gotta get you.
No. I'll be around more often now.
Okay, we got. Take care, man. Appreciate it. We got Tyler.
Tyler, wait before we bring Tyler in. Tyler, are you parked? Yeah. I saw you were driving. We can't. Legally speaking, as long. Okay, we can bring you on. I see. You're good. You're good.
Good shout there.
Oh.
All right. You're
good.
Tyler.
We just want to make sure you were safe.
We got Tyler. He's in his car, but he is parked, not driving. Tyler, what's going on, man? 1-0 win at St. Louis City SC. KKR with the game winner and a backflip. What'd you think? How you feeling?
Don't love the backflip considering how injured we are. I will say that.
I had the same thought. I was like, hey.
Yes, Sam.
Wet grass.
You're not Denny Belonga. You're not Denny Belonga. Let's,
how are people feeling? Because I just joined, so I don't know like how people are feeling after that game. Like, what's the temperature? Like, are people mad because it was kind of a sloppy game? Are people happy because they gutted it out?
I think people are vibing for the most part. You know, I think most people understand like the personnel situation and the injuries and Yamar going out, and also just kind of how road games work in MLS sometimes. So I think the vibe's generally pretty positive.
Yeah, it was just interesting because I heard something for 1 second that was like Alex Roldan at center back isn't ideal. But the more I think about it, I can't think of the last time we conceded a goal with him at center back.
Yeah, apparently it is.
That's what I'm
Sure,
trying
he
to
had
say.
didn't he have 3 shutouts last year? And like
Yeah.
the 3. So honestly, KKR at right back, Alex Roldan at center back, I feel like
New meta.
Because if we think about KKR too, when he gets on the field, he scores.
Yeah, exactly.
Like his goals per minute is insane if we break it down. I mean, he already probably has more career goals than Nuhu, probably more assists than Nuhu, different type of player. But, you know, obviously he has like a 10th of the minutes. I feel like I love Alex, and that's part of the problem. Because I feel like KKR is ready to be like our guy.
It kind of feels like he needs to be a featured player on this team. Like the stat sheet production is like, you can't ignore that. That is very consistent.
And the work rate.
And the work rate, exactly. So
and he's fast.
Yeah. Which, you know, you want like, I think it's great. We're seeing the depth of the team so far this season. You know, we just talked about how they don't have 2 of their DPs, and you got guys like Paul Rothrock and KKR stepping up. So that is good on one hand, but it does bring up those debates of like, all right, like KKR needs to play. So how do you make that happen?
And do you move Alex? Because I feel like Alex, I know people have been giving him shit ever since that like LA Galaxy turnover, but like I feel like Alex is definitely very underrated. I do feel like he makes very few mistakes, but for some reason when he does it, I think people just get amplified. Maybe because it's just mistakes in the biggest moments, but also in the biggest moments, he's typically been a reliable player. Like, I remember watching the League's Cup final, and I'm in my seat, and I see Christian Roldan going up to take that penalty, and I'm shaking my head. I'm not feeling great. And I was sitting by some Inter Miami fans, and I was like, we need to have the right back come and take this. Like, our forward, like, our strikers can't shoot it. Rusnak wasn't in the game. There's no one else on this team that can take a penalty kick to just ice the game besides our right back. I feel like he's a clutch player who plays well at the highest level. When asked, like, we forget, but he spent a lot of time with El Salvador. He played well internationally. Like, I feel like he rises to the occasion. And KKR is unproven, but there's just something about him, and that's kind of like, that's the dilemma for me, honestly. Like, there is honestly a lot of pros and cons to both.
Yeah, I mean, I think for now they are probably forced into playing Alex at CB, so we probably are going to be getting to see more KKR, not under the circumstances that we wish it was, but I think for the short term here, like, it is, I guess it's nice in a way to be in a situation where you're this under it with injuries in the personnel, but you still feel good about the options that they're going to be running out there. Like, there's definitely been past years where when they were in injury situations like this, it was like, all right, well, this is all chalked, hold on to your hats. But like, that's not how I really feel right now. They just won a road game in that situation. So good start. See if they can keep it
Yeah,
going.
if you told me they were going to tie both road games going into them, I probably would have been okay. So the fact that you win one, you're ahead of schedule a little bit, despite what always happens. And
I'm not gonna lie. At halftime, I was like, just give me a 0-0. Like, I don't.
He did.
Once
text me
Yamar
that.
went down.
Yeah, like once after the Yamar injury, I was pretty much like, all right, like, you got Alex Roldan at center back unexpectedly, and you got Snyder B at right mid, like, and this team's also looking to just counter. This just seems dicey. Also, they're giving the ball away a lot. If you can get out of here with a point, I would take that. But then they won, so that was cool.
Yeah, and I don't it's kind of hard to see the vision right now because obviously, like, so I couldn't watch the start of the game, so I was watching it on delay, so I couldn't look at the lineups. Is Georgie Manugu, like, was he not there?
He's got like a foot knock.
So but he wasn't a sub. Okay. So I didn't want to
He
look
was a
at
sub. He was on the
like
roster.
Oh,
He was
Okay.
on the Matchday roster, but I assumed he was there, and they weren't going to roll him out unless they absolutely needed to. Is what it seemed like. He was traveling and available.
Because it just felt like a really thin squad. I know it is because people are hurt, right? But seeing Snyder Burnell, like obviously, like he's working himself into the team, and just to have him like go out of position, like in the third game of the season, is pretty interesting. And like the parts of his game that were really good was when he was in the middle of the park, right? But you could kind of see it. There's a bunch of times once he got isolated on the wing, there was nothing there. And I'm not gonna knock a player. Like I'm not knocking him or saying
not his
stocks.
position.
He's playing out of position, right? But like I would say it was pretty glaring. There's a gap at that position right now, and I don't know how we can make it through a whole season with that. And last year I felt like we had wingers forever. Like we had like 7 of them. So I'm saying
we were winger
Ryan
FC.
Kent at DP. It needs to happen.
Is he still a free agent? What's he up to? Can we give him a call?
Hope so.
I mean, Craig did just say he has no place on this team at the end of last year.
Ryan
so
Kent.
I don't think
I was being sarcastic. I don't want Ryan Kent back. I was just like last year Ryan Kent was our worst winger, and now I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I was even thinking maybe KKR could play on the right going into the game.
I would like that more than Snyder. Like Snyder, it's just like
Snyder B was not a fan.
It's a lot to. It's just a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask for a young, an 18-year-old who is just like starting to learn to play in MLS at one position, to play out of position, and like to carry the load attacking position. You can muddle your way through one game like that, like they did tonight, but like that can't be the every week thing.
No, or even, if it's a game like St. Louis and it's going to be a pressing battle, maybe put Alex up a line and then put KKR behind him. I think that's redundant. I feel like there are a lot of options, and I was kind of shocked that it's like, let's just say plan B, but plan A, considering the scenarios going in tonight, plan A is going to be Snyder, was pretty surprising to me. I didn't really see anything that made me feel differently.
No.
I don't know. If he gets that assist to Musovski that he kind of did a shot like right at Berkey, like maybe I feel differently, but then it's like, are we just cherry picking like when someone does something statistically over like how well they played,
right?
Like the body of work,
yeah,
right.
I thought Snyder did admirably considering what he was asked to do.
For sure.
Like in an ideal world, you got to just have him playing his actual position. I think controversial take here, but
shocking. Snyder Brunel needs to be playing the position that he's really damn good
at. Plays. Yeah. All right, Tyler, we got Tribe coming up next, but do you have any last thoughts or takes you want to get out there either about this game or the rest of the season?
Yeah, last thought. I know we were talking about depth a lot last year, and we're talking about depth a lot this year, and we have Paul Arriola coming back, and like part of me is still kind of worried about Paul Arriola getting hurt again because it's been a few years since he's done it consistently, and there was a point though when I was watching this game, and is it Pekovic?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of watching this game, and I'm kind of like, I kind of wish we still had Danny Leyva on the team.
Oh, bro, he's killing it in Liga MX too, dude. I watch every single Necaxa game because, like, I'm obsessed. He's, like, really fucking good.
Yeah. He looks like a different guy. He look like, I think maybe he needed the change of scenery to, like,
he needed it.
Because, like, okay. I'm watching this Danny Leyva and Liga MX stuff, and I'm like, yo, what, like... What? Where was this?
To be fair, he played well in Seattle.
He did, but like not like this.
Yeah,
not like this.
No, sure, okay. I'm not well versed on the the Hulu FC.
He's like flying around the field. He looks like fast. I'm telling you, it's it's wild.
It's just a Liga MX diff is what it is. Okay. So
yeah, I mean he was definitely solid and he definitely had opportunity. I think he would have played a lot more this season, but I think the deal they got for him and Danny just in general, I think it was the right move for him. But it is one of those where like I'm in agreement with you. I'm like, shit.
This game, he would have been really good in this game today. Like it would have made a huge difference. And it was like this game is screaming for Danny Leyva. And sorry, I'll go. But Pekovic, though, I will say, he did look a little uninspired in the other appearances I did see from him. Tonight, though, he did kind of cook a little bit.
He had a couple of really nice dives.
He had 2 plays where he had to make like 2 or 3 passes in quick succession. And he made all 4 or 5 passes perfectly. That little, like, it wasn't a 1-2 with Arriola, but the kind of, like, transition play where he kind of breaks at an angle, and then he gets it to Danny. Like, if that goes in, I'm like, okay, I kind of see the vision for Pekovic, but still at the same time, like, at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like I'd rather have Danny Leyva than a guy we're loaning out for, like, a U22 spot. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not at practice. I'm not a professional. I never went pro. I don't know anything. So
tonight was the first time watching Pekovic where I was like, okay,
maybe you could convince me. It's a good start. It's a good start.
It's a good start.
He has to start somewhere.
We'll see if he can build on it. But all right, Tyler, great stuff, man.
Thanks for all you do, guys. Take care.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, boss.
Have a good one. All right, we got Tribe
Super chat.
Okay. Time to start
Chad
MLS.
says.
Proven Moose. Make D-Row earn it. Thing is, I thought he did earn it in preseason, and it just hasn't quite hit that. But like, I don't know. Sometimes I think with these things, you don't want to get like too recency bias. Like you do have to kind of work your way up with it sometimes. So hopefully that's what the situation is. I don't think D-Row's been bad. It's just like he was so lit during preseason that the hope was that he could kind of just hit the ground running and get right to that. And I feel like that hasn't quite happened yet, but I do think it's still possible for it to pop. Reese is accusing me of hating Danny Leyva. I don't know. Am I a Danny Leyva hater? Am I wrong that he looks like a lot better for Necaxa than he did for Seattle? Am I exaggerating that?
I think we didn't see him enough, but I do think that he has clearly taken a step forward. I mean, he looks amazing there. And this is a great time to say, go watch our Danny Leyva interview that Nico Moreno did, and I edited, and it's on our YouTube channel. Go watch it. Okay. Tribe.
Let's get Tribe, and then we're going to call it a wrap for this post-game live, I think.
Sweet.
Tribe, what is up, man? 1-0 win at St. Louis City SC. KKR with the game winner, and then you hit a backflip. What did you think? How are you feeling?
I mean, fucking put him as striker already. I mean, 2 incredible goals for the Sounders in 2 years at that position. Hardly any game time. He looked like prime Rui Diaz, and just a lot of nostalgia with that little what's they even called, like almost a Cruyff turn or something, and just finishing it off oh man, I just love that. But before I go on, the Ryan Kent hate is appalling. It's absolutely appalling. What are we doing? If Ryan Kent was starting every single game, he would have been our best winger, and I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. Now, with that out of the way, the Osaze thing, it's not his fault. He never gets chances. He hasn't been getting any of the chances that we see Musovski get last year. He hasn't gotten any tap-in chances, any clear-cut header chances, any real good chances for his skill set. He did have one that he could have cut inside before shooting, and that might have gotten better. But again, he's young, inexperienced. I wouldn't expect him to do better. I say we keep starting him and trust the process. Miguel Arteta quote, but maybe he's not the best person to quote off of as they're about to bottle the league again. So trust the process with him. I really like Kossa-Rienzi, but I also love Jesus Ferreira. That pass into Kossa-Rienzi was absolutely exquisite. Just a simple little ball, a cut back through like two players, incredible. But I really want to get your guys' take on how well we defended and what we're going to do without Yamar now.
I mean, I will say I love Yamar, and I think he's been really good. I think he's had some tough moments this season. I think the back line wasn't amazing. The back line was amazing tonight. I thought Yamar played great. I really liked his like kind of advanced play as well. That's where he got injured, was kind of pushing up the field a little bit more, but it was interesting and it was a good look.
Yeah.
But dude, you know me. Alex Roldan, man, he's gonna hold it down and he's gonna be fine. He's not Yamar, but like you have Jackson Ragen up there. I'm not too worried about it. Big Stu Hawkins, maybe one of these days will come back, get him some minutes. What I'm concerned more about is how Yamar looks when he comes back. Because he's the type of guy who loves to rush through recovery. He's a guy who just wants to get back on the field and play. He's a dog. He's one of the biggest dogs on the team. It's something that I think that a lot of people don't acknowledge. But you talk to Nico Moreno and like Gamer's like blowing up his phone because he's like, bro, I'm injured. Just put me out there. I don't even care. I'll saw my own leg off. Like, I just get me out there. Like, he's a want to play guy. So I think you miss that. You miss that kind of grit. But I don't know. Like, I think they can figure it out with Alex back there. I think what needs to be even more solid, though, is that double pivot pair and the possession in your midfield. Because when we're having turnovers from Hassani Dotson in dangerous positions early on in the game, I'm sorry, like if you have a stand-in center back, even as good as Alex, I don't know what to tell you. So I think I'm still a little bit more worried about that double pivot and their ball control than I am about getting a replacement.
They got a little lucky to not blow this lead based on how much they struggled in possession and how many giveaways there were. Like, I will say that. I do think, though, that if there is something that I feel encouraged about coming off this game, it's the fact that they didn't give up the lead. Like, yes, they gave up some chances. They had a lot of bad giveaways. It was rough in possession, and they had to absorb a lot of pressure. And Andrew Thomas had to make more good saves than you would want. But I think I'm hoping, like, psychologically, to get to the end of one of these and keep the clean sheet and not blowing the lead, which is what they were doing a lot last year. Hopefully,
way too much.
Hopefully that's a psychological building block, and we can start putting this blown lead stuff in the rearview mirror. And maybe this is the start of building towards that. That's what I'm hoping, at least, because I mean, I said it before, but like when KKR scored, I was like, you got to get at least one more, because a 1-goal lead's not going to cut it here, because you can't keep possession of the ball and they're countering their asses off, and eventually you're probably going to ship one. But they didn't. So all's well that ends well. But if they can't get better in possession in these road games, they're going to get scored on by better teams than this.
What do you think about Jackson Ragen potentially being in next year's World Cup or even this year's World Cup? Do you think he deserves that opportunity?
No, I'll let you go there.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing with the Jackson Ragen situation. He obviously got a call in. He did get a call in previously in which the Sounders were like, we're happy to release him, but we need to delay his departure date by like 2 days. We just need him to play in this game, then he can come into camp. And U.S. Soccer was like, fuck you. No, we absolutely do not negotiate with terrorists. And then the Sounders were like, okay, but like we're literally playing in a competition that we pay this player to play in. We need him. And they were like, I don't care. Fine, whatever. Just we'll pick someone else. We don't even care. Jackson Ragen got the
better than Tim Ream.
Better than Tim Ream, but he got the bad end. Not even close. He got the bad end of the stick from that. And so I think that U.S. Soccer and the Sounders don't really have a great relationship, and there was bad blood there and whatever, blah, 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 blah. He got the short end of the stick, and I just think for whatever reason, he hasn't gotten a call. I don't understand it. It seems really stupid. I think he's pretty frustrated with it as well. He was really frustrated after that call up was supposed to happen, and then he didn't get to
Do you
go.
think they're like grudging over that?
Probably.
So
US
maybe.
soccer.
That would be so US soccer.
Absolutely.
That would be so
Yes.
US soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that I don't care. Listen, if he doesn't make this World Cup, he's young. He has an opportunity to make the next World Cup. I think he's one of the best defenders in Major League Soccer. If
US soccer.
In US soccer, I do.
Yeah.
I really do. Like in MLS for sure, in US soccer period. But like if I see Tim Ream on that World Cup squad, just know
I might be pissed.
I'm clipping every mistake he's making. I'm putting it on the Everything app, and I'm gonna start my agenda. Everyone knows me on there as the Christian Roldan guy. All the USMNT fans either love me or they hate me because they understand the bit that I'm doing. A new bit is about to hit the timeline, and it's going to be Tim Ream hater.
Yeah.
And I just I don't know. I'm not normally a hater like that, but Tim Ream, I'm coming for you so that Jackson Ragen can get your spot. So the propaganda will start to commence.
My last agenda, then I will let you guys call tonight because it's been an absolute wild one, hasn't it? What do you guys think about Schneider Brunel? I think he should play the center mid role, and we maybe put Pekovic where Brunel was to see what he can do up there. But I don't know. What do you guys think that should look like?
Well, I definitely think that him playing right mid is something that should only be done in emergency situations, which is that was what this was tonight. So I'm okay with it in this situation. But I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier, but I think there is going to be increasing discussion about the competition between him and Hassani. I think I continue to love what I've seen from Snyder this year.
Brilliant.
I think he's going to be a starter on this team sooner rather than later. I think the amendment I would make is I would put KKR at right mid instead of Petkovic, and then swap Snyder and Hassani if you think that he's earned that.
Do you have any plans for Pekovic? Do you think what would you do with Pekovic? Just leave him on the bench?
I mean, I think you try and get him these cameo minutes where you can. I thought he looked pretty good in this game. I was expecting it to be just kind of a wash where you didn't notice it was on the field, and I did notice he was on the field. He hit a couple of those passes he hit. There's one in particular where he sprung a counter, and I was like, damn, that was like a legitimately good pass with a high degree of difficulty that led to a dangerous C. That was good. So it was just one or two plays, but it was enough for me to be like, all right, give him another cameo. Let's see
he's quality, I think. I saw a little bit of that against Real Salt Lake. I thought he was a little beacon of light in absolute hell in America First Field, which we all hate. We want to burn that place to the ground, and we don't want to talk about it. But I really think the body language, the movement, and the very difficult degree of crosses I was trying to put in was very good. But with that being said, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful night. And again, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, Tribe.
I'm on the road.
Appreciate you, man. Great stuff as always. All right, I think we can call it right there for this post game live.
Please like the video. Please like the video. Please, I'm begging. Please.
Like the video, sub to the channel, comment, subscribe, rate 5 stars, and we'll be back at it on Monday for Lobbing Scorchers kickoff. We'll see you next time. Until then, we out.
Peace.